Yesterday, Arkansas reported 53 COVID-19 deaths, the state's highest single-day death toll since the start of this pandemic.
That's right. We are joined by Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson to get a sense of what's happening on the ground there. Thank you so much for being with us, Governor. And unfortunately, we're talking as a record number of COVID-19 deaths in your state have occurred yesterday, and then over 172,000 cases since the pandemic began. What is your level of concern? Where are you right now as a state?
Well, there's two things that we're focusing on right now. First of all, we've got to continue to mitigate the spread of the virus. We've got to make sure that we keep our focus on wearing a mask and socially distancing. I'm starting a series of community action meetings with various communities, trying to develop local leadership to be more engaged in mitigating the spread of the virus. The second part of our responsibility is getting ready for the vaccine distribution, which gives everyone hope. Rightfully so, but we can't lose our focus as we go into the holidays, post-Thanksgiving. We've seen the surge. We don't need another one around the holidays. And so trying to be creative as to how we can celebrate the holiday season without having to raise hospitalization rates, without creating additional spread. Our hospital capacity remains steady, although we're watching it very closely. But yesterday's record number of deaths was very concerning and really breaks so many hearts.
And Governor, you mentioned hospitalizations, but your state health department reported that about 90% of the ICU beds in the state are taken right now, many of those, of course, with COVID patients. You're one of a handful of states that did not issue stay-at-home orders. You do have an order in place now that bars have to close by 11 o'clock. Given the numbers we are seeing and the concern we hear in your voice in the answer you just gave, what would it take for there to be more restrictions in your state? And how soon do you think it'll be before you put those in place?
Well, every restriction you put in place should be data-driven and should be able to say with confidence it's going to reduce the spread of the virus. And so in restaurants, for example, we're at 2/3 capacity. In gyms, we have restrictions. And so there's restrictions in place. But to close restaurants, to shut down businesses before the holidays when there's not data that says that's where the cases are coming from does not strike me as the right direction or helpful. And so we are looking at the size of gatherings is the big concern that our health officials have, that we don't want people during the holidays getting together indoors with 10 or more people without following the guidelines and having Department of Health approval. And so those are the kind of things that we're trying to focus on. We're watching the hospitalizations, and we'll take what action that we need to, but it needs to be data-driven. We don't want to be shutting down our businesses and hurting families during this time without really the justification to do it.
All right, Governor, before we let you get out of here, it seems strange that we have to, so many folks we talk to, Republicans in particular, we have to ask this question to get you on the record, to see where you are. Is it time for Republicans to acknowledge, in fact, that Joe Biden won this election and it's time to move on? I know you have said that you absolutely, you're supportive of the president-elect getting certain briefings, but do you acknowledge Joe Biden won the election and Republicans need to do the same?
Well, he's President-elect Joe Biden. President Trump can continue his contest. Many of those are very important for the future, but I've had a call with President-elect Biden. He needs to be prepared as he goes into next year, and nothing illustrates it more than a smooth transition in terms of the vaccine distribution. So we want that to work smoothly. President Trump has allowed the transition to take place. The plans are in place, and so obviously we want President-elect Biden to be prepared as some of these contests continue, as is President Trump's right to pursue.
All right, Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson on the record there. Thank you so much for your time, sir, and thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Great to be with you.
Like I said, it's bizarre to ask that, but a poll of Congress members, Republicans, still some 88% would not say, yep, Joe Biden is the president-elect and that he won. So good to hear from him on that.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.